everyone. Lauren Culp, your publisher and CEO at CUInsight.com, and I am bringing you a 3 questions video interview today with a really special guest. Joining me is Rachel Jarvinen. She's the Client Success Manager at Strum platform, and we're going to be talking about customer data platforms today. I'm super excited for this conversation. Rachel, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start off with kind of the obvious question, which is, what is a customer data platform?
Yeah, that's a good place to start. So a customer data platform is an all-in-one cloud-based platform built to assist marketing teams to drive more data-driven marketing, be able to do additional personalization. It's a collective system of different various data sources within the institution and even ancillary data sources brought in to be able to have the data cleansed, transformed, and then create kind of this combined member profile so that you can deeper understand your members, understand some of the behaviors that are taking place, and then in turn be able to market from those insights that you've gleaned, be able to further market to them in a way that's relevant to them and personalized and maybe the preference of channel that they prefer as well. So, typically a CDP is going to be a platform that has a two-way data stream. So similar to at Strum platform, it allows you to not only be able to load the platform with data inside from the institution from multiple sources, but also be able to push that out directly to your marketing automation system. What's unique about Strum platform as a CDP is that it's specialized for, uniquely built for financial institutions. And we work directly with credit unions. And so we understand kind of the needs that credit unions have, and we built upon that from what we've heard from clients. So we are very open and very flexible in terms of the data sources that come in, as well as the marketing automation platform of choice for the credit union that we're working with. So that allows them to choose kind of maybe a certain automation system they're currently working with, and now Strum platform just becomes that way to gain insights, right? And further glean information from the data that they can provide us. So I know a lot of clients will talk about, I want to be able to visualize the data. And so like in our situation, our platform has pre-built dashboards across multiple areas of the system. So those are kind of up and running at the onset of launch, which is nice. We've heard from clients, it's very possible for institutions to build that on their own. But what happens is the time and the resources that go into that, kind of reinventing that wheel, takes time. And so sometimes they've turned around and been like, okay, now 6 months later, we want to kind of explore something that has pre-built dashboards that we can add to and gain insights from.
Amazing. Well, really, really cool to hear about what customer data platform looks like, but tell me more about the implementation. I mean, what does a successful implementation and really usage of a CDP look like, and what impact do you think that can really have for an organization?
Yeah, I'm going to use kind of my current role as success manager, client success manager at Strum platform, but also pulling from kind of my history. I used to be working at credit unions, running kind of an analytics tool. So I'm going to be pulling from kind of what I've learned from clients, but as well as my own experience running those tools and trying to get them off the ground and implemented, but then also be able to show that impact. So, what I have found is so often when you're searching for a system to be able to be an analytics tool and also be able to be an actionable tool, right? To make action right on that system and on that data. You have all sorts of departments that are wanting to understand and be part of that process. And I would encourage organizations to include other departments in that process, because truly a CDP like Strum platform, it allows users to be able to access the system that are not just within marketing. So it's built for marketing in mind, but we've really built that out and grown that view. We see sales using it. We see branch managers using it. Finance goes in because we have profitability already kind of included in the system, and that's appended at every data cycle. And so what I would say is an implementation at the start of setup includes different departments across the institution and stakeholders across those. So gaining that support up front, I think, is important, because as I'm going to talk about the impact going forward, we're going to talk about how to further push that information in front of that large audience to kind of tout the success and the way it's been leveraged. So I think as you're starting that implementation, the buy-in from various departments is important. I think also being able to bring in multi-source data. So, you know, as you start small and you start to build that, you usually start in your mind, you think, I'm going to base that off of just core. And I would say that's a great place to start. A lot of our clients are starting with core, and then within a few months they're saying, I want to bring my e-service information in. I want to bring my LOS origination system in and bring data in so we can better follow that member journey and give that member experience more of a relevant touch points throughout kind of their time at the institution. So I would say it's buy-in from multiple departments. It's then being able to bring in those sources of data either at the get-go or looking to build upon that as you build the system. As after it's set up, I would say the impact that we have seen, it's hard to choose one or two stories, to be honest, but you know, the efficiencies that come, we hear from a lot of individuals in marketing and CEOs and COOs, just the efficiencies that the platform brings, because once you brought that data together and you have multiple users from that institution accessing that data, you're able to kind of lighten the load on IT, right? So I think there was a trend where IT would be the source of all data, and to be able to pull those marketing lists, be able to pull, you know, large segments of data for analyzation. But now what we're finding is a lot of institutions, clients will say, you know, we need a tool to be able to pull that ourselves. We keep going back and forth with IT and want to adjust our list. And so like Strum platform, it's built on SQL, but you don't have to know SQL to run it. So it simply allows you to, in a very user-friendly way, be able to build your marketing lists and targeted lists without having to go back and forth with other departments. So it puts that right in your hands. The other thing too that we find is clients are often, in this day and age, we have the digital landscape is so advanced, and you're pulling in so many different channels of marketing. So being able to track those all together gets extremely tricky, right? And time consuming. So one of the, I think, biggest aha when we are able to show our, you know, CDP to potential clients is the marketing ROI report, where it's that omni-channel tracking, where it pulls all of that information back in from the marketing automation, whether it's online banking, web ads, banner ads, SMS, email. It's pulling it all into one area to be able to track that as a whole or segment that out and understand maybe higher response by certain channels for certain segments. So that's kind of a big thing that we hear from clients, is a way to easily and seamlessly pull those disparate data sources together for their tracking purposes. I know when I was at institutions pulling those together, it would take hours. And so it's nice to be able to have a two-way data stream where you can give attribution and be able to quote profit and ROI directly every day with refreshed data in the system.
Well, what a huge impact a customer data platform could have for a credit union. What would you say your top tips are for really leveraging a CDP to get the most value out of it?
Yeah, so, you know, there's so much more than, as you can tell, as I talk about the CDP, so much more than just understanding the 1, 2, 3 accounts that your members have with you, right? Mining for insights, allowing you and the marketing team to have more intelligence just at your fingertips, and just being able to deliver that back and tell a story, I think is the best way. I think in order to do that, I think my biggest tips, I know that we've talked a lot about these, but just in summary at the end here, you know, start small, right? To gain some victories and then share those. I think my biggest tip is once you are set up, start small, get the automation set up. We have clients that had been running on monthly data snapshots, right? So kind of by the end of the month, that's stale, right? And what we've seen is some of their ROI is 7 times greater when they compared kind of pre-Strum platform to post. And so what I would say is start small, grow into that, but they were even able to do that just within one campaign in that first year of running that. So start with that first campaign, set that up. And I think the second part to that is don't be shy about what you see in the system, right? This is something for the whole institution to learn from. Don't be afraid to push that out to your C-suite, to your board. I think it's important if you are seeing insights in the data, that is something that others, if they don't have that at their fingertips, they're not seeing that and understanding the membership that way. And I think it's important to not only share insights, but then important to share your successes right away. Get the, you have buy-in at the implementation phase, but make sure that they're informed about the benefits that continue to come after that setup. I think too, I mentioned about setting up the multiple sources of data. That can seem daunting to a client. And so a lot of times when we start an implementation process, we start with initially, what are they able to get? I know that for, some, they say, oh my goodness, that's going to be a project that's 6 months, a year out by the time we have our hands on the data. We've recently seen a lot of clients transitioning to a CDP that had existing extracts already built for other partners or systems that are easy for us to just transition. And so we've seen a lot of clients be able to be up and running even in 4 to 6 weeks. So don't be afraid to kind of explore that route. See if what you have existing could be really beneficial in just getting you launched so that you can start to have those small successes. And I would say the other thing that is a tip would be to plan on having an expert or 2 or 3. Their whole role doesn't need to be the system, but plan on having people devoted to getting to know the system. We provide that onboarding and that ongoing training and support for our clients. Make sure to take advantage of that, learn the system. And then in addition to that, I would expand the user base. So a lot of our clients ask us, who else can be in the system? And really the dashboards are built to be able to be seen by marketing and others. So I mentioned branch managers, sales, finance. Expand those users, allow them to access that data, see the value of that member profile and relationship, right? And understand where you're getting your information. And then I would say, choose a CDP that connects openly with other systems, such as Strum platform, being able to allow you to connect to the CRM of your choice, the marketing automation of your choice, the LOS of your choice, right? So I think that's big when you look at a organization, a large organization that provides marketing analytics tools. Sometimes it's pinpointed to go in a certain direction. It only kind of functions and works well when it's playing with its exact partner, right, from that same maybe vendor. But maybe choose something that's open so that if you were to do a transition of your online banking platform or what have you, that it doesn't mean that your CDP has to be unusable. So those are the things that I would kind of put as my main tips as you're looking at CDPs.
Absolutely. Well, there's so much really, really important information there for credit unions. As we wrap up, Rachel, do you have any final thoughts for our audience that you'd like to share? Final asks of our listeners today?
The thing that I would say is a lot of clients come kind of anticipating that it's going to be an overwhelming process. I would say, if you're interested, take a look at the Strum platform website, reach out to us just to be able to have a demo or a conversation about truly what this means and, what it could mean for your institution. And, don't be afraid once you have a system to share, analyze again, and continue to tout your findings and your automations that you're able to accomplish. So that's what I would encourage.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to link to Rachel's contact information and that of the team at Strum platform here. So anyone who's interested, you'll be able to see that in the post here. Rachel, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, sharing all this really, really wonderful information about customer data platforms. In the meantime, thank you so much to everyone who tuned in today for our 3 questions video interview series, and we will be back again next time.